front, right.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm so sorry. I'm so late.
That's okay. You said you were going to be a little late.
Yeah, well, it's just I have this like new setup and everything's set up in all sorts of different ways, and so like I'm just trying to fucking get it right, Like each time we do the show I get a little bit better, Like the first time on the new setup we had Zakabog on the show, and it just
A new
like
setup. Yeah. I haven't been this is like a month I haven't been on, by the way.
dude, this is episode 50, and I'm happy that you showed up because I didn't think anybody was going to show up. Usually when Lux decides he's not going to show, everybody else finds a reason. Like,
That is
it's like...
completely not true. That is completely not true. There's been a few times where that's happened, and I've said I'm available, but others are, oh, it's okay, we'll cancel, we'll do something else.
Yeah.
I'll do my unboxing. So if, in my point of view, it seems like you just don't want to talk to me.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding. I know that's not true.
No, well, it's hard to...
And I fell asleep last week, which I'm really bummed about. And I'm actually trying to find, because I got really I read something last Thursday, and it just really got me. Like, I was ready to share it and talk about it and just kind of let loose. It was some article, and I can't remember what it was. This is what happens. I get like heated about something for a day, and then that's it. I kind of lose steam on it.
Yeah, that shit happens to me, man. All the time. It'd be cool if we could just record those snippets and play them back and remember like what we were so impassioned about.
I was very passionate. I remember saying, "Oh, I'm going to bring this up tonight," and I didn't have an opinion on it, but It was something that happened that just it happening just infuriated me. Whatever it was, I didn't care about it. It just was the fact that it was being reported, I think, was the reason that I was upset. And like, this is what we're kind of, this is what we're concentrating on, or this is what we're being told to concentrate on. Yeah. And it really got me going. Like, I think I read it around like 5:00. And, I was like, I'm going to talk about this tonight. And then I fell asleep on my couch.
It happens, but like, there's some crazy stuff going on. So the new setup, I actually have gotten increasingly more paranoid about my privacy. So what I have now is a fresh install of Windows, because unfortunately I still like to play games, which is the only reason I have Windows. But it took me like 2 hours to yank out like everything that I possibly could from Windows to like make it stop sending information about my computer to Microsoft. And like when you think about things like Cortana, like that's enabled by default, and it's constantly listening to you and constantly recording anything that it can pick up off of your microphone. And it's just nuts. I mean, do you have a MacBook or you got a Windows?
I have a personal MacBook, but it's so old that I rarely ever use it, and I got accustomed to my work laptop, which is a Windows. So for the most part, I use that now.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about getting another MacBook. I've been really into photography for a little while, and I'm finding it, the screen is small. I'm finding that I can't really do as much editing. But
whoa, hold on. Sorry. I'm so sorry, because I think...
Oh, you're all right.
Yo, somebody just posted... Oh. Hey, King. What's up, man? 50th episode. I mean, it's crazy, right? We did 50 episodes of this. I'm sorry to interrupt, Duffy, because, it's rare when we have anybody stop by.
50 is almost a year, though, if you think about it. I mean, we've been doing this once a week, right?
Yeah, but when we first started, we did it twice a week.
Oh, yep. Okay. All right. Still, 50 episodes is no joke, though. No,
it's not a joke. The funny thing is that, like, we've done really little to like promote it, and sure, we don't get much traction like when it's live, and I really appreciate King stopping by, but once we post on certain platforms, like if I just leave the video up, we get about 20 listens on YouTube, right? But that's just YouTube. If you look over at BitTube, we get like 1,500 views.
Wow.
And I release my regular videos, which is on technology and stuff, like pieces of tech and shit, and it doesn't even scratch the surface of this show. I don't know why it's so popular. Maybe because it's more international. I don't know.
Yeah, what is BitTube? I don't know what that is.
So here, I'll share my screen. BitTube views are kind of whack, man. I don't really like understand it, but like the views that I get off my regular videos don't compare to the views on this show, and I don't know why. It's really weird. But they count. So this is BitTube. BitTube is basically a decentralized video platform. They don't censor video.
Oh, okay.
And the way content creators make money is basically the longer you can get somebody to watch your content, you're making cryptocurrency, and they're making cryptocurrency too, because while they're watching, they're also hosting the video, and it works like that. It's like this chain of like peer-to-peer hosting of the video. So they don't have ads. It's not like a Twitter platform or YouTube platform where somebody can take down your shit.
Yeah, I'm also seeing that you can't. It's King KF or XF is saying that nobody really. You comment or nobody does. Comment?
You can comment. Not very many people do comment. And I think, like, I get a couple of likes on this show. We get a couple of likes on this show in particular. But I think what it is because this platform in particular is really privacy focused. So all the cryptocurrency and tools are all privacy focused. I've been thinking about putting some of our content on Library, which is similar in nature to this. It's fucking start.
There's almost 2,000 views from last week's episode.
Yeah.
On BitTube.
Yeah. Library. So Library's very similar. It's content freedom, same kind of difference. That people seem to comment here a lot more often. But it's really important to have these alternative platforms, and the longer I think about these alternative platforms, the more and more I feel that we there's an argument for like curation on Twitter and curation on all these platforms. These platforms, they don't censor anything, and they've done a really good job of giving the user the ability to kind of curate their own content, like what they want to see and what they don't want to see. Does that make sense? Like, I haven't come across like any crazy videos of what I didn't want to see,
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
What's Floatplane, King? I mean, yeah. Like, I've been on Liberty for a while, and I just don't get, like, I'm not getting, like, I don't get, like, a mass, like, influx of, like, political stuff that I just don't really care to look at,
Yeah.
And, whereas
I'm getting real tired of all that stuff right now. I can't wait until this is all over.
It runs on Linus. You mean like Linux or? Let's see. What is it called? Floatplane. Oh, I feel like I heard of this. YouTubers are doing it, right? Ugh, what the fuck? Start page. I really need to change my settings. Start page, by the way, is like Google, except privacy focus. Floodplain. Yeah, I feel like Linus Tech Tips, it came from there. Yeah. I've heard of this. I don't know. Maybe. It really just depends. I'm not really like. I don't know. I don't know how much of like a YouTuber I want to be. You know what I mean? Or like I don't know.
Like YouTube, you really have to keep up with the content and producing, creating and producing content to be successful.
I guess
you can't just do it kind of like willy-nilly, if you will. You got to kind of have some kind of organization. Not saying that you don't, but it's a lot. It's like a consistent weekly.
It totally is. It totally is. And like when I stopped making content, the funny thing is COVID hit, and when I stopped making content, people started watching a lot. And, and so I came back to YouTube, but like, what I think King gets it. Like he's saying, see, YouTube favors quality over quantity. What I meant by like, I don't know how much of a YouTuber I'd want to be is like, I don't know how much I want to like kind of dive into YouTuber culture too much. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. So like,
understand that. Really.
Yeah, I guess hopping on a platform like that, once I get big enough or whatever, and doing all this stuff, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just more of a humble beginnings dude, stay where I'm at kind of dude. There's this one channel who
I kind of understand that. Yeah. I feel like to be, because I've thought about like I think I've told you before, be kind of cool to do like a podcast or something. I thought about YouTube as well, but I don't like putting myself kind of in front of the camera, so to speak. Like I don't want to I have a hard time kind of selling myself, I think, in turn, those, not like selling myself, but gloating, because you have to really gloat, to be able to make it on like you have to have a lot of me, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like that's what you have to do in order you have to sell yourself.
You're right. I think so. The feedback I got from when I first started my channel, like if you look at like my first video ever, right? Mm-hmm. And remind me, we got to go back to computers in a minute because I'm about to recommend a couple things. But when I started my first channel, when I did my first video, I got the feedback that I was really monotone and really calm, and obviously it didn't get that many hits, and I if you watch like my first 3 videos, and then I started to try and like overact in the videos, like really overact, and I can see why you gotta kind of exaggerate a little bit, and so now when you watch my videos, I like my girlfriend will like laugh at the way I say things and do things in the videos, because I'm just but it's entertaining, right? Like if I just have a monotone voice throughout the whole thing, it like doesn't matter, right? But even if like I'm overacting and some of the stuff I say is like dumb or whatever, it's like entertaining, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. When you watch a TV show, right? When you watch or a movie, all the acting in there is overacted. right? Because if you really acted like the way you would in real life, it wouldn't come across the screen the same way. It'd be so subtle that like you just you wouldn't, you know what I mean? Let me King, I'm gonna reach out to you offline. We gotta figure something out. I'm just saying. All right. Yeah, so I just don't. I mean, King, I don't, like, what do I know? I mean, I still, like, don't get much going on. I have, like, one video that, like, just blew up, and, you know, that's, you know, I don't know. Anyways,
I would love to own a seaplane or float plane.
Yeah, right? They're so cool.
Yeah.
I always thought, what was that? What was that like Disney show? Like,
oh my gosh, I was just
Tailspin?
gonna say that. Tailspin.
I really need to change my
Did you grow?
there.
I was wondering if you might have been too young for that. I grew up on that show.
What are you talking about?
That was like part of like afternoon specials.
Yo, do you know how old I am?
I think you're a little younger than me though.
It was my birthday on Wednesday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, dude, guess what Tailspin. Hold on, Tailspin. I just want to see it because that was like one of my favorite shows.
I watched one episode on Disney Plus. It was, you know, one of those evenings you don't know what to watch. And a while ago.
Yeah.
And I definitely watched the pilot of Tailspin.
Dude.
With the kid.
Tailspin was awesome.
Float on the clouds. His like thing that he used to take out of his pocket and then just like go to the back of the plane.
Yeah, dude. I loved this show. I watched the show.
This was the best show.
All the fucking time. I don't think anybody understands.
There they all are. Look at them.
Yeah.
The mechanic and the bartender, Big Louie. They were from the what is it with Mowgli?
Yeah.
Not the Lion King, the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
They were characters in the Jungle Book.
And I used to watch Darkwing Duck.
Yep.
Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous.
Yes.
Darkwing Duck.
Yes.
Oh,
we have the
this
same
show
initials.
is so cool.
Darkwing Duck.
This is so cool. When there's trouble, you call DW.
Oh, DW. Darkwing Duck.
Thanks, King. I know. The birthday is kind of usually a depressing time for me, but like this year was not that bad for some reason. It's been terrible for like my whole entire life, my birthday.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
But you know, like one year I ended up in a treatment program out in the woods. Another year I was in jail, you know, and then another year I was like
my birthday in jail too.
And yeah, you know, just every year on my birthday.
I've had some pretty bad things happen on my birthday.
Yeah. Yeah.
A good friend of mine killed himself on my birthday. I got arrested on my birthday. I stopped after like a couple of those bad things. I stopped caring about my birthday.
Yeah. No, I know. And that's how I ended up. Yeah, King.
Oh my god, look at the little Disney pop thing. That's cute.
Oh, this thing? Yeah.
Yeah, that's cute.
King King just heard that we all went to fucking jail. Yeah, man, I wasn't a great kid growing up, man. I was really bad. I took some steps to like change my life, but I'm not, and what I have today, I don't deserve. If I really got what I deserve, I wouldn't have what I have. But it's a damn miracle, King, that I was able to get sober and meet, a girlfriend, get a job, and really change my life. But like when I was younger, I was not a good guy, man. Oh shit. Well, I mean, I tell you what, I don't know about Duff, but Duff, you spent the night in the drunk tank or something like that?
I spent 2 nights in Central Booking in the Bronx.
Damn.
So it's not really like real jail. They almost bused me to Rikers, and I almost flipped a shit because
I mean,
I knew that I was being bailed out at the very moment that they were going to load me onto the bus. And so luckily I had a nice guard that kind of told me I pushed it so that I didn't get on the bus, and I was able to get released.
King, my parents did give up on me at one point, and it took me a while to kind of gain their trust again, but at the time I didn't want anything to do with them either. But I don't know.
Say to King, I always felt the same way about my parents, and what got me to where I was 100% my fault, and I take full responsibility for it. I think though, as long as you are, humble about it, and you're not like, oh, it doesn't matter if I went to jail, they're going to support you. Your parents love you, and yes, they want to say that to you now because they don't want you to go to jail. But if it actually happened, I would imagine that they'll be there to support you in whatever way they can.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Parents have a hard time giving up, but yeah, they'll be pissed, man. They'll
definitely be upset.
I put them through fucking hell, man. And
are you close with your parents? Do you speak to them a lot, or?
Now I am. But growing up, my dad was kind of, my dad had his own problems, and but when I was younger, I didn't see that. When you're young, you don't see what your parents are like. You just see them as like figures that are like almost the end all be all in your life, right? When you're young,
right?
And then you realize at some point that they're people just like you, and when I look at like what they were going through at the ages that they were going through, I can't even imagine doing what they did. Like,
I mean, my parents at this time had 2 kids, had like property, and it just where they were in their life and where I am in my life is so different.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. But my dad and I now are really close for a couple reasons. Like I made moves to change my life, and he did too. He got he started like he had PTSD for a while, and his and like that kind of fucked with his life pretty bad. And I don't blame him. Like he went to Vietnam, and he came back, and I can't even begin to imagine what that would be like, because when soldiers came back, it was a fucked up war to begin with, and when they came back, people hated them because they blamed them for it.
They didn't want to be over there, right? They didn't want to be there either.
They didn't want to be there either, but like people who stayed here and like protested or whatever, they just like took it all out on them. It's kind of similar than what we see today too. It's like there's just like this deep misunderstanding of like the context of people, like if you're either 100% with people or you're against them. And I think that's the same mentality that happened back then, where like they saw them being in Vietnam as like not being 100% with them, because if you didn't believe it, you would refuse and you wouldn't go. I don't know.
Striking a memory flashback of maybe what what I was reading last week, of just, you're so right. Like, you have to be on either side of the issue, right? Whatever issue it might be. You can't just be, it's just black and white to people. There's no gray area. And that's just not how life is. There's so much in between that you don't know, like you're saying, these people, if you were a soldier, that's it. You're a bad, that's a horrible thing. How could you do that? Meanwhile, they don't understand that soldier was looking at it as an opportunity to enhance their life. They're not responsible for the war. They're not the ones that got us into the war. They're just the ones that are trying to take advantage and make their lives a little better.
Wanting to participate in your country is not a bad intention.
Right.
It's not.
And that's where the blame gets, placed on the wrong people, because the soldiers aren't the ones that said, let's go to war. That's happening today, to this day. We're getting sidetracked from the people who are actually creating the issues, right?
Yeah.
And stalemating them, really, and not finding a solution. There's so many times, even especially this year. And I think that's why I've read, including this podcast has been so helpful to me. It's gotten me a little bit more, I've awoken a little bit more to the issues that are happening. And a lot of it is in areas that you wouldn't realize unless you did some research or you did some reading, or you're just not listening to, cable news.
Yeah.
And it's disappointing that's people don't realize that, and then they get upset for anyone who has a disagreeing opinion, because at the end of the day, it is just opinions.
Yeah.
And I just feel like moral decency of just being able to allow somebody else to have a disagreeing opinion, and not saying, well, you're wrong because you believe that.
Yeah.
That's not going to turn out to make us any better.
No, for sure. Well, can I just...
We need a Darkwing Duck in our lives. Imagine what would happen. I always think about that. Like, what if there was a real life Batman, or like a real life Darkwing Duck?
Dude, yeah, right. I mean, yeah. I'm really surprised why no. I mean, I guess it's.
Why isn't there a Batman? There's so many rich people.
It's a Jeff really
Bezos?
big.
Come on, man.
It's a really big sacrifice. It's a really big sacrifice, and I think that's what it is.
So pay for it and hire somebody else to be Batman. You have like.
Can I just comment on why was there an obsession with ducks?
Yeah, right.
During this period of time, right?
Scrooge
you had
McDuck.
Darkwing Duck.
He was so
Scrooge. Great. Yeah, you had ducks
with his coins, and he would go swimming in his coins.
Yes, with Scrooge, McDuck.
Who else was there? Daffy, Donald.
Yeah, there's so what was the obsession during this time with ducks? Scrooge McDuck.
The Beaks, maybe. Scrooge McDuck. He was great.
Yeah, man. And then Donald.
What is that right there? The solution of Scrooge McDuck or something? What was that?
What?
No, go down. Right there.
Yeah. The evolution.
Nope. Stop. Go down. It's the second row.
This one?
Second, yeah, that one. Oh, the evolution. Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1947. I didn't realize that he came out then.
1947. Huh. He still exists in 2019. Jesus.
Well, he must have been remade in 2019.
Jesus.
Although I don't like that. I don't like the one that he is in 2019.
Oh my goodness. All right.
I like the inventor. Gizmo, I think his name was.
Gizmo?
Yeah, he's over in the picture on the second row. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth column.
This kid? Do you remember Inspector Gadget?
Yeah.
Also
Yeah, that guy.
Like
Or
this
no, is
show.
that a dog? I don't know if that's.
I also enjoyed this show. There was like this obsession back then with like mysterious
Oh yeah.
looking, like trench coat wearing, like, you know, if you saw somebody walking down the street in a trench coat and gloves, you might think that they're
Did you ever see somebody walking down the street?
I mean, you see that in New York sometimes. Yeah.
I feel like it's very common in New York, though. I would never think. Maybe that's why I never thought. You don't really think it's like Inspector Gadget. That's just somebody.
I also really appreciated Earthworm Jim. I don't know why
I don't know who
Earthworm
that
Jim
is.
is no longer a character. Earthworm Jim, I think, started off as a TV show and turned into a video game. It was about like this worm that crawled into like this alien spacesuit, and it kind of like made him into like a human, but human
Game Boy.
superhero, right? It's just like these concepts are like, you just don't get this stuff anymore.
I mean, if this is the stuff they came up with, like, what is the stuff that they threw out? That's what I always think.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh, you know who I loved? Oh my God, not Johnny. What was his name? Oh, why am I blanking? I need to look this up. Johnny. Oh, it's Johnny something.
Oh, he had like
Johnny Quest. Johnny Quest was. I loved Johnny Quest.
You know, I never got into Johnny Quest.
Oh my God, I had like.
Like the
girl,
old
I had like
school
a crush
Johnny
on
Quest.
Johnny. Yeah, like
Yeah.
if Johnny Quest was like a real person, I would have loved that.
He wore like a turtleneck and jeans. This is the mysterious look I'm talking about. Like,
Yes, yeah.
like what is this?
And he had his like Indian friend. I forget what was his name.
Yeah. It was multicultural.
Raji or something. I know.
Yeah, I remember this. I definitely remember this. Can I just mention that the intro to X-Men was like the best to the cartoon? Do you remember that?
I don't think I watched that.
Oh my God. Please, hold on one sec.
Oh my
Here we
God,
go.
Johnny Quest's dad? Oh, I
X-Men.
remember that. Yeah, I used to watch that. I love Johnny Quest.
This song is dope. It's so intense.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can get this right.
Dude, so good. You don't get that anymore.
I definitely watched that. Yeah. Now that I've seen it,
Yeah.
you know, you just need like that memory jogged a little bit.
Yeah. And every iteration of Rogue in like the new movies and all that stuff, like Rogue was hot in the cartoon and in the comics. She was not hot in any of the movies. Not hot.
Huh.
She's just like, okay. Oh, so what I was gonna say is like your old computer. Okay.
Yeah.
You can totally install Linux on it and it will run super quick. And you said you wanted to get into like photography?
Yeah, so I've been like, you know, dabbling a little bit, but it's hard to. I wanted to have a better kind of a larger screen, and you know, I'm using my work computer, so I feel like the storage isn't, you know,
Yeah.
a lot. I kind of just wanted my own, but I'm trying to save my money and not maybe buy a $2,000 computer.
So I mean, you could get like buy like a $75 screen, and then install Linux on your computer, and all the software is free. Like all
Linux.
of the software.
How do you spell that?
Well, okay. So Linux is open source, right? I talked about it a little bit. It's like an alternative to Windows and Mac. It's all open source. Linux. They've come a long way in terms of like usability. So when Linux first started, it was like really not user friendly at all, right? And now what you have is all sorts of different flavors. So what I'm using right now is in this window here is Linux. So it's you know what a virtual machine is?
No.
So a virtual machine is basically I can run Windows like a complete computer within my computer. So I have Windows installed, and you can imagine opening up a window that has another Windows OS computer in that window.
Okay.
So this is a full-blown, let me just hide this for a minute. So you could see, this is my computer in the background over here. And then this is a window that's running another computer in it.
See now. Okay.
Yeah, so if I shrink this down, this is a complete computer. It's got like my applications here, you know.
So it's more than just another desktop.
Yeah, it's a complete computer. Well, I mean, it is another desktop, but but here's the key difference, right? So this is Linux. This is a flavor of Linux. It's called Ubuntu. And I think I showed it to you before, and you're like, oh, the interface is too weird. You know what I mean?
This does look familiar, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm running a completely different operating system. So like you could run Mac OS in here. You could run Windows in here. You can run, you know what I mean? And it's...
and even if you don't have a Mac, you can still run Mac OS?
Yeah. I don't think I think you have to do some like special things. Let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just run Mac OS in here. Because it kind of just fakes the hardware. Anyways, but without getting into too much detail, so this is just, you know, it's a completely different. So like you want to see all your windows, you want a new desktop, you can get one here, right? It's the biggest part about this is that this is built by volunteers, not this one in particular, Ubuntu. Some of them are paid and, you know, sponsored by contributions, but the code is all open, meaning you can see all the code that's been made, that's been put in here, and you can even tweak it if you want to. That's not something that you can do with Windows. There's no way to look into all the code that makes Windows, and there's no way to look into all the code that makes Mac OS. And
right.
It's a big thing for security. The other point to that is that if you're I'm sorry, I totally brain farted. What the hell?
No idea what you were gonna say.
I don't know either, but yeah. Anyways, it's cool because it's free. It's, you know, built by a community. The entire internet runs on Linux. So it totally runs on this operating system.
Like its little mascot, it's Penguin.
Yeah. And there's a good reason for it. So any website you go to, anything, it's all running on this on these operating systems. And there's a reason for that, because they're very light. Everybody can see the code. So, if you try to run an application on Windows, that you just run into all sorts of different hoops. But anyways, yeah, so that's it. So there's also different flavors. So like I said, there's some that are nicer than others. So this is just one flavor. I'll open up a couple if you want, just to see.
Sure.
A couple.
I mean, what else do you want to... Is there something else that you want to
I didn't really have much of
talk about?
I didn't really have much of an agenda.
Did you know this is our last show before the election?
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Remember months ago we were talking about it and it was like 8 months away. Well, actually, maybe not that long ago. I think I joined this in like March.
So this is...
maybe April.
This is elementary. This is also a different one. But it's still Linux. You could see it's just a little bit... It has a nicer, cleaner interface. It's got this little bar down here. It's nice. So that's another one.
Could you just create one if you wanted to, and then others would start using it? Is that how?
Yeah. You could totally just create one if you wanted to. This is another one. Let me type in my password here. Everybody's gonna fucking know my secret names and stuff on here, but whatever.
Well, no, now it's not showing up.
So this is another flavor. You still got the bar down here, and it's pretty similar, but there's all sorts of different flavors,
Interesting.
Yeah, but so I guess my point is that you could install one of these operating systems, and you can use the free software that's available to you, and a lot of professional, like graphic designers and artists and people who make movies use these free tools. I think people like to think that like you only have one choice. You use Photoshop and all these other things, but there are
it's
other
good
choices.
To know, because I was looking at maybe investing in Photoshop, because I didn't, it's definitely the easiest to get your hands on.
Yeah, but it's expensive, man.
But it's expensive. Yeah, it's very expensive.
So there's lots of, there will be limitations, but I guarantee you, if you start using something like, so like each one of them has like their own little store here. Here we go. So Blender, a lot of people use this for like 3D design in movies, and also as like kind of a Photoshop replacement. Inkscape is I think more of a video editor, but would
these applications change depending on?
This is similar to Photoshop here.
Yeah.
You're saying they would change when?
So let's say you are on the elementary Linux.
Oh, no, yeah.
Would it be different from the other one that you are on? Would like these applications be different?
No, they'd be the same.
Okay.
They all work on the, because they're all Linux, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Some, but like some of them are more optimized for others, right? But
Right. Yeah.
like, I mean, for the most part. Oh, here's photo video. I think it's gonna take a while to load though. Um, yeah. So it would be the same. Here we go. So this is a video editing software. I actually use most of everything I use is one of these open source options. So yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
I will definitely be looking into this.
The best part about it is like you could take like an old computer and make it run super fast on with one of these operating systems.
So maybe I'll try that on my old Mac.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people do. Sometimes, I mean, the best thing you can do is each one of these. So, like, say you wanted Ubuntu, which is what I'm running right now. You go here and you download it. You download the desktop here, right? And you get like a USB and you put it on USB and it will run from the USB.
Oh, wow.
So you don't even need to install it. You could just try it out, look around and decide that you don't want it, and you can do that with any flavor, if you want to go to do it with Elementary, which is the kind of pretty one that I showed you. You can put it on a USB, stick it on a USB and just play with it and see if you like it, and if you don't, then you don't.
That's cool. Well, yeah. I have a couple of days I am off next week, so maybe I'll try and play around with this a little bit.
Google's your friend, dude. How's the guitar playing?
Not well.
Listen.
Not well at all.
My girlfriend got me an acoustic
I think
my
the guitar
birthday.
is too small. It's very hard to. I just can't get my finger. And you know what? Let's be honest. I haven't been practicing. Well, what did your girlfriend get you?
My girlfriend got me a guitar.
Oh, really? For your birthday?
Yeah, she got me a guitar for my birthday. Not only did she get me a guitar for my birthday, the guitar is small.
On purpose?
On purpose. I was like, I really want to just play an acoustic guitar for a couple days. So this is how the story started, right? And I walked into a Guitar Center because they have a good return policy. They have a 45-day return policy, right? So I was just like, I'll just fucking buy one, fucking return it, and that'll be that, right? And so the first guitar, I was like, I walked in and I was like, hey man, just get me like an acoustic guitar. Like I didn't even want to waste time trying an acoustic guitar or whatever, you know what I mean? Like if you don't need a super awesome guitar to play guitar, right? If you have pieces of any inkling of like, you can play a little bit, right? You can make any guitar sound pretty decent, and so I was like, get me a guitar, anything under $400, so the first guitar, he brings me this gigantic Yamaha, and I was like, okay, fine. He's like, you don't even want to play it? I was like, nah, just let's go. And
how much was it?
Well, it was $400, but they couldn't find a case to fit it in, right?
Oh.
And so and then I was like, okay, fine. So I walk back in and I just point to this like I know Martin guitars, the first Martin guitar I ever played, like I learned guitar on a Martin guitar, and I like them, right? And I just pointed to one, and it was used, and it was like $300, and it came with a case. And he's like, "You don't want to play it?" I was like, "No. Just pack it up." And it's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful, but it's small. I've never really played small guitars before, but it's small, but it sounds good. It sounds good. If you're ever worried about small guitar stuff, you should check out fucking who is that guy?
So my guitar, when I say small, like I don't think it's meant for an adult. My guitar was $30 on Amazon. And I hear what you're saying, but I guess to me it's like the oh man, what is that part of the guitar? This, not like where the strings are. That just feels very small.
Oh.
That part.
The fretboard?
Yeah, the fretboard. That part feels very small.
I'm surprised when you say small, because most people, when they get a guitar, they're like, I can't stretch my hand that way.
I guess when I mean
what is
small,
that artist?
The fretboard itself seems normal. I feel like my hand is super close to my body still. Like my left hand, I feel like it would be easier to hold a position if it was a little bit further away. Like I feel like it's very close to me.
Yo, you know what I think you should try? I don't know.
I'd love to try. I'd love to like get a ukulele or something though. That might be really fun.
That's motherfucking. That's like way smaller.
Yeah, but like you don't need to like have your hands at all times like a ukulele's. I don't know. It's just like kind of awkward. I'm not sitting right. I'm not sure.
I think you probably aren't sitting right, but like I think you might want to go to a Guitar Center if you have time.
Yeah.
They're open.
Yeah, there's one near me that's like not really busy.
Yeah, nobody's going to it right now. And you can
just sit and play with guitars.
Try a bass guitar.
Oh, I think I would like a bass guitar. I've thought about that before.
Yeah, it's huge. I
feel like I would really like it.
It's massive, you know, and you know, you get such full sound. I played bass for a long time, and to play bass, you know, there's a spectrum, right? But
right.
To just play for fun, it can be really, really, really easy.
Wow, bass guitars are so much cheaper than acoustic guitars.
What do you mean?
I was just looking. Well, maybe it was acoustic guitars. I just typed in bass guitar, and the ads are like anywhere from like $80. Like they're not like the ones that are popping up are not. There's nothing under. I think nothing over $200.
Oh,
but before, I was looking at the Martin guitars, and they were like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, they're a brand thing, but like you can get a pretty. I would say, if you're gonna get a bass, I wouldn't go like too low. I wouldn't go like. I would at least spend like anywhere from. I would at least spend like maybe $200.
To do what you said though, I hadn't really thought about that, of just going to a Guitar Center and kind of hanging out for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, if you go, maybe we could go together. That'd be actually pretty fun.
That would be fun. Let me know. I'd be down for that.
Yeah. I mean, and you can tell the difference when you pick up like your $30 guitar. I can't believe you managed to get it
100%.
I can't.
It feels like a piece of shit. I think I'm gonna give it to my nephew eventually. That's why I'm, haven't gotten rid of it, because he hasn't, when he comes over every once in a while, I don't see him a whole lot, but he's kind of asked about it, and I let him play it. He doesn't know how to play, but it's just fun to see him.
You could get like. I'm sure if you just got some like decent strings on it, it would probably sing. Like.
And practice. I need to practice.
And practice.
I need to practice.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's face it, it's definitely the thing that I need to do. But we're coming into the winter months, so there's less daylight, so I'll definitely be home, more than not that I go anywhere, but, I'll go outside.
Yeah, you're going out in COVID right now?
No, I mean, it's gonna get dark at like 4:00 soon. It's like depressing. Like even though it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I probably won't be out like walking around my neighborhood or anything as much.
Yeah.
I've been like out. I mean, I do most of my stuff in Westchester, so I don't really go into the city at all. Having a car is great. Like I'm actually up at my mom's tonight. She lives in Putnam, and I am going to vote. I'm going to try and vote tomorrow. And like when you come up here, I do shopping up here with her, or I go to like Danbury, which is like 15 minutes away. There's nobody up here really compared to the city. So I feel a lot safer going out and about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, definitely when you get out of the city, it's crazy how much like safer one feels, I guess.
Yeah, just in general, like I was talking to some girls at work today, and we were talking about Target, and just square footage wise, like things are bigger outside of the city. You're cramped in these small, like just the square footage in these stores is small. So even if you have the same amount of people, it'll feel like it's more.
Yeah.
In the city.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely still being careful. I'm not, I think I will go out. There's a bunch of bars in my neighborhood that have outdoor seating. So I bought a Halloween costume. I'm probably going to go out on Saturday night, stand outside.
Nice. I don't know what to... I haven't participated in Halloween in a very, very long time.
They just do a big Halloween thing every year, and I feel like they really wanted to do something this year, and they can't because, I wouldn't go to their apartment either. And so the only reason I'm doing something is because we're going to be outside. And I actually have to go into work next week for something, and because of that, I have to get COVID tested. So it makes it a little bit easier because I'm definitely getting a COVID test on Wednesday.
My girlfriend talked to me about like, hey, should we get tested, right? And also I'm getting a little bit afraid about going into work. So like my job is asking me to, I bought a car so that I can go back into work, right? And like nobody really cares there. And like, listen, I'm not too worried about it. I just, at the same time, I don't want to get sick, right? I don't want to get sick of any kind during the winter. It sucks,
It does suck, yeah.
And I also can't afford it. Also, so she asked me, like, she's like, should we get tested? And I was like, I don't really, like, I'm really suspicious of COVID. I'm really, like, France is on lockdown right now, again.
Yeah, so is Ireland. They've been on lockdown for over a week.
I am so confused. I just don't know what to think about it all, and the government being so close to all of this in such a strange way during elections, and it's really weird. And so I guess what I'm saying is that I am suspicious about being COVID tested and put into a directory. I guess that's what I mean. I had to go do it for medical marijuana, and I am not happy about that. But I'm not also just a little worried that, I mean, what am I worried about? You might ask. And maybe I'm overly paranoid, but like with all this information, the wrong, like being stored somewhere with the wrong person or wrong people in power, it's just a huge vulnerability.
I guess I've gotten tested once, and it was really just more of a freak out. I knew that there was kind of nothing wrong, but I just felt like I should get it just in case. And the only reason that I even really care so much is I see my mom a lot, and my mom, she sees like older people a lot. So it's not even like my mom that I'm actually worried about, even though she's in that kind of elderly age range. I feel like she doesn't have any of the other.
No, I mean, I don't want to threaten
she's
my
not like
mom.
overweight.
That's why I'm
she's
not going to California. Like,
Yeah,
I really want
but
to
I
go
feel
back.
like I went and got a test done at a hospital, and so I feel like they're going to take my information the same way that they would have taken my information for anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm going to get a test done next week at a university, and they have the same. They have my information too. You know,
I see the contact tracing as a really weird thing. Like, and I see.
But you don't have to do that if you go. I mean, I do next week when I go into work because they have a whole system. But normally, you don't have to. There's no contact tracing unless you have it.
It's on your phone.
And you don't even have to be so forthcoming about it.
No.
A lot of people are not answering those calls.
But that's the whole thing about contact tracing is like you don't even need to be. You don't even need to be opted in. You don't even need to be opted in for contact tracing, or opted in for sharing your location, or you can be as private as a person as you want on your phone. But that's the thing here, is that like.
What do you mean? You have to. How would they know that you? If you didn't opt into something, how would they know that you're? Why would they contact you?
Because they contact tracing is the ability to determine who you've been around, who you've been in contact with.
Right. So if I have it, it's like, okay, who have you been around last week?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's numerous.
And then I would give names and probably phone numbers.
You actually don't need to do that because they can associate those pieces of data from your phone. So.
So I don't have to tell them I was around Joe.
Exactly.
They just automatically know. Okay.
And so, like, you and I, from me having your number in my contacts, right, at any one point in time, they have the MAC address of your device, the MAC address of my device, and even if you have location turned off, they can triangulate that you're near each other by Bluetooth, by network scanning, and that has opened the doors for like all sorts of like invasions of like privacy, where they just kind of know literally everything. And that's been my main concern with contact tracing from the start.
I mean, I understand that.
Think about the
like
Privacy Act, the Patriot Act, right? And how that opened the doors for all sorts of shit.
This is going to open the doors.
The same thing, and when it's going to get retracted, I have no idea. But the fact that they can know stuff about me through simply just being in contact with you because you're part of it is like terrible.
So see, I've been thinking a lot about this whole COVID thing in a different way, like not data wise. I've just been thinking about it as, you're right, like it's an election year. I'm not saying that has anything to do with it, but
it probably has.
Things that are happening.
They're probably taking things advantage. They're probably taking advantage of it.
The timing of even it coming out and how it was, how it kind of happened, and I go back and forth on it. Like I do try and be very safe, and not my life isn't the same that it was, but I will say that it hasn't, I'm not seeing the same people, and it's getting a little, like, my bubble is still really small. But I still do things, I'm still, like I said, like I do go shopping every once in a while. I don't go out to eat at all. But there's like normalcy part of my life that is a little bit normal. But it always comes back to like, this is what's happening right now. And, it's just, to me, it's just the timing of everything. Like, why is this such a, is it actually a more deadly disease than ones that we've seen in the past? What is the reaction to it? Is it, the right reaction? I find the whole thing, I go back and forth on it. Is it real? I don't know.
I do too. I mean, I think it's real. I think it's real. I guess so. I know it's real.
But how real, like how bad is it really? And I hate to say
that's
that
the
because
question that I have. That's the question I have. And but then I look at other countries like France is shutting down, right? Like, why would you shut down your entire economy?
I mean, I think that there is a part of it that, in some ways the U.S. I do we never shut everything down, but as long as you kind of take the precautions. I mean, I do know it's real as well. Like my cousin is a nurse. She is a nurse in Ireland and was at one of the hospitals that are really, really bad. And she and her husband both had it, actually. And, I talked to her and she's given me updates. And, I know it's a real thing. But shutting down your whole country, yeah, doesn't seem like it's the best thing to do. You're putting... And I can't imagine that this is an easy position as a political, person to make this. But you're putting the lives of... You're putting the lives... I guess, I don't know how to explain this.
Putting the lives of actual people in danger. Yeah, and...
Yeah, because then, there are people that are really suffering out there. Like, they've been brought into poverty. Maybe they're starving. They don't have any food. Like... And
France
they're suffering while, so to me, it's not like you're making it better, by shutting everything down.
Wasn't that article about...
You're still causing pain.
Well, I guess the concern is that like influx in the hospitals, right? But I would really be curious as to know like how much is actually required for hospitalization and how much is not.
The other thing about that's why we all shut down is because of the influx in hospitals, and I actually think that was, I understood that we all got and we were at a, an infection rate that was really high, but I think what really I don't understand is how after that, and we like, let's say, look at New York, we got through that hump, right? It took so long to start to open things up and to start, and like some things weren't even opened up until the end of the summer. It's like you had all summer long to try and ease these things back. Yes, it's going to come back. We all knew that. But I just feel like there was still no plan. So you're saying that we're only closing the hospitals to help with the infection until the infection rate goes down or hospitalizations go down. But then there was no clear plan. It was just, okay, just keep it closed. We have to face reality at some point.
So France is also taking care of things a little bit differently. They're like,
what are they doing?
Well, so like, I remember an article earlier in the year where, they're taking care of people that are outside of like, oh man, my audio's all fucked up. They're taking care of people like kind of
not on this side.
Yeah, no, just the background music. They're taking care of people. Let me see if I can fix that actually. I can fix it, and I did. They're taking care of like, I guess, foreigners in the country, right? They're giving them free housing, free money, and Lux was all up in arms about it, I guess. But I guess I gotta wonder sometimes, I was thinking today, my mom came to this country, her degree didn't count for shit over here, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people come into this country and, as like, they were educated as engineers, and they came here and they ended up being taxi drivers because their education didn't count. But you go to a foreign country and you have a United States degree and it counts for whatever fucktard reason. And you think about all the different ways that the United States kind of like controls the world, through its money, through its education system. And I seriously wonder sometimes, and I don't know how to wrap my head around, like, you know, people destroying their economies over this, but I wonder sometimes if the world has just had enough and maybe sees it as an opportunity to kind of like make a shift. And the only way for that to happen really is to, you know, stifle economies a bit. You know, pandemic is a great excuse for that. You know, I don't know. And I hear nothing out of China now. Like, China seems fine. Why is that?
Yeah, they seem... There's like no viruses in China at all. How do you not have any viruses? I mean, I understand their response was different, but I mean, I don't know if they don't have any, but you know, I think it's still low. I also think it's kind of impossible in some ways that what do they have, like 3,000 cases or something total or something like that, wasn't it? Like their caseload, I remember it being very, very small.
Yeah. So this was the map that originally came out. Maybe it's time to revisit it. Well, we've been visiting this site since the beginning.
Oh yeah, I've seen this site. Yeah.
Of it. This map is crazy because it literally looks like the game, like the mobile game. Fucking, what is it called? I don't know.
Yeah, anyway, there's like nothing over there. Look at.
New York has the high, like, U.S. state level deaths.
New York is the highest.
Yeah. But we're also
we're like 33,000. Oh,
density.
You know what? I'll share this really cool picture that I went hiking last week, and I went by this school, and I found this they put a flag out for every death in New York, and it was very impactful. I'll post it on here. It was very cool. Not cool. I shouldn't say that. It was definitely makes you think. Let's see. Oh, I also took a lot of fall photos.
Fucking Discord update right now. What the fuck?
So that's what it looked like.
Where are you posting?
It's compressing the files. Right?
So
on the VAM Show.
Yeah, all right, I'm in here. I don't see. So there's Europe, Asia. Yeah, China has very low cases according to this map, unless they're just not reporting it. That's a possibility too. But like, you look at this map and there's not much going on here.
Where's that big one in the middle? That's not Wuhan, is it?
Yeah, that is Wuhan.
Oh, that is Wuhan?
Or near Wuhan.
Yeah, what? Like they don't have any? You know?
Yeah, no. Look. There's nothing here.
You do. It does make you wonder. You know. I know that.
And then you look at the United States, and for whatever reason, and is that because we have more testing available? But I just don't really believe that. Look at this.
Well, I mean, the United States, if you really do think about it, we're such different countries inside of one. You know what I mean? Like the Northeast, we got hit. We kind of learned our lesson up here, if you will. The second wave happened in the South, and now they're in the Midwest. And I think they said in the beginning, it's such a big country, it would take time to move through. And I think some people in those other states that are just getting hit now probably didn't realize. I mean, I don't know, understand how you couldn't realize it after, the world being on lockdown for 8 months.
Dude, Canada's doing fine.
Yeah, Canada has been doing okay. I don't think they let us in, right? We can't go to Canada.
Same with Alaska. Let's see here. Europe's not terrible. India's pretty bad.
Yeah, India is very bad. Brazil is very bad too, I heard.
Yo,
Brazil and India and us are like the top.
In Russia? What is this little dot here in Russia? Like,
where?
Hey, right here. Sakya Republic. It's like right up at the top here. I always wonder, like, what the fuck is out there? You know what always trips me out is that Alaska is like right next to Russia. It's just a
I went to Alaska last year.
That's crazy.
I did a 2-week trip up there. That was fun.
Was it cold?
No, it was beautiful. I went in May. I went actually over my birthday. I think I left on my birthday.
Yo, you totally missed out on the flat Earth conversation.
Oh God.
Because.
But I gotta tell you, if I would have loved to have been, one of those ancient people to like have crossed the Bering land bridge. Like I would love to buy a boat and just a boat or a plane, something to really see the world. There's so much.
I think a balloon would be great. A balloon. I've always fantasized about building a balloon.
Plane. Yeah.
Like an airship. Like a makeshift.
I've been on a hot air balloon. Did you ever go hot air ballooning? I went a couple of years ago.
Those things kind of terrify me because I'm like,
dude,
how do they get
they are
controlled?
Crazy.
It's
insane.
How do you maneuver it? How does it turn?
So you go on. I definitely have a picture of that as well. Oh, these files aren't going though for some reason.
Probably too big.
It's weird though. They were taken with my phone. The hot air balloon, though, that was pretty sweet. Oh, there we go. Maybe this will work.
I see.
Yeah, that's the picture of the flags. Let me find my hot air balloon.
Here
Which
it is.
one would that have been? No, I have photos. So they blow it up in front of you. We got up at I think I was there at 4:30. Because you get up and you see the sunrise, It's beautiful though. My sister and I went.
Fucking turn, I don't.
They take care of it. It's not. You don't turn. You kind of
float. And then
they have these. So they have the fire, like the propane.
Yeah, no, I understand.
You are blowing. So you're blowing air up into it. So you just float around.
Well,
and when you need to go higher, you just put more.
Yeah, but how do you get back down?
You don't put any fire in it. You just let it.
No, I get that, but how do you control where you land?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. But I think it's
land arbitrarily,
like a parasail kind of thing. No, they have a specific place that they landed.
I really like airships, man. I think they're the shit, dude. Airships are coming back in kind of a way.
Airships?
Yeah. They have brand new airships. Like Zeppelins.
That's so cool. I didn't know airships were a thing.
What do you mean? Like the Hindenburg?
Like blimps? Yeah, I would call that like a blimp.
They're so cool. They're so cool.
They are pretty neat.
I mean, okay, so you know that Manhattan, what is it? What the fuck? Empire State Building was built so that an airship could dock at the top.
I know that.
Look at this.
That's pretty cool.
How crazy is this? This picture? And people were supposed to walk this very narrow bridge
I did not know that.
Yeah, there it is. You see this little bridge here?
Holy moly!
At the top of the Empire State Building, and that's what it's designed to do. The times were really different, man. So cool. So cool. And we kind of moved away from air travel. I don't know why. Aside from the Hindenburg, but
you know what? I think we've moved away from like Atlantic cruise ships.
Oh yeah, for sure. Also, I would much rather prefer to fucking hit like if I had to travel to Europe, like why like I don't want to be on like an outright cruise ship, but it would be nice to travel in
like
style.
The Titanic.
Yeah,
like a luxury cruise. You don't. They're called cruise liners.
I don't think the Titanic was a cruise liner. Like that was a legit transport ship. And
yeah, but they called it a cruise liner. I think
they did?
A luxury cruise liner or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like that very much. Can you just imagine, right? Like there's just all this space, right? You spend like some time on a boat and then you arrive at your destination. It seems like a great way to travel.
Well, that's why I took when I went to Alaska, I took a cruise from Vancouver. Oh. Because they say that the best way to see Alaska is by air or by sea. And so it was a little expensive because I traveled by myself. But it was totally worth it. I would definitely do it again. And I used it as a mode of transportation. It was like, instead of taking a plane and flying into Alaska, I just, went on a cruise. It was amazing.
I mean,
I can't find these pictures for some reason of this hot air balloon. But
what does terrify me though is like these cruise ship, like crashes, cruise ship.
Yeah, so that's why I also went in May, because it's before their season, which was cool. Like their busy season up there is June through.
Like look at this. This is insane. Like this is
oh wow,
entire cruise ship halfway underwater. It's they're so massive.
Yeah, that's really crazy. They're the one out like near Europe, I think it was, right?
Also, crashing onto a dock. You ever see these videos where like cruise ships like crash onto a dock? Like it's fucking terrifying a little bit. Cruise ship crashes while coming into dock.
Imagine if you're standing on that dock. I was watching a show, and it was they talked about the Staten Island ferry. I think it was like 2003 or something. It was definitely before you were in New York, but the Staten Island ferry crashed into the ferry terminal.
Yo,
and
can you imagine
the video
being
of
the
that
dude
coming in is crazy. Like it's terrifying.
Wait, what is it?
This Staten Island ferry crash.
Can you imagine being the dude who like drove the boat and fucked up that bad?
They said that he was asleep or something. He had been, I think he was on pills or something.
Unbelievable.
Fun fact, if you ever do go to New York, any of our listeners, never ever pay for a cruise to circle around the Statue of Liberty.
Oh yeah,
get on the Staten Island ferry and go for free.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I would highly recommend the Circle Line. The Circle Line is a lot of fun.
So this
we used to do that as kids all the time.
Just rammed itself into.
Yeah. Does it show it? Yeah, there it is.
So if he was asleep, I mean, how did he know? How did the thing navigate?
No, that's not it. They totally missed it. He didn't even.
Okay, so this is.
He
separate. I mean, how did he? How did he know to? What is this? A reenactment?
He didn't know.
Oh, I see. It hit the corner. But I mean, how did?
Oh, this is it. This is the show that I was watching.
Okay, but what I'm saying is like, how did you even head towards Manhattan and
so what
hit
happened
that
was
mark?
They landed over there. You see where they just pulled it in. He got close to Staten Island, and there was he was in whatever the place is that he manages the ship or whatever with another person, and then that person there's two captains on a ferry at all times, and the captain is supposed to they're supposed to stay in the same, I don't know what captain's whatever, wherever it is that you steer the ship from. But this guy, his fellow captain, went into the Manhattan side and was like just hanging out back there while this guy docked the boat. So he was by himself for literally like the last 5 minutes of this.
No, but I mean, I guess what I'm curious is like, how did he even get that close to on course, right? Like, I know he was off course a little bit, but like, how did he get?
Because he was on course until the very end.
Thank you, Kyle. What's up? We got a new subscriber.
Oh, nice.
Like, how did he?
Thanks, Kyle. Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh. I just saw them putting the boat in the water.
Oh. Oh yeah. I mean,
cool.
I'm trying to see.
When they launch a boat.
No, I was just trying to see the actual crash. Like, I saw that reenactment. But
maybe that's all I saw then. I thought they had footage of the whatever you just played. There's a larger like video. It's not just 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That New York City crash was a complete shock.
Yeah, I mean, this is the one that, bloop, bloop.
Was it 2010? No.
See, this is, I think this is a reenactment.
So yeah, this is a reenactment. This is the thing that I saw.
Yeah.
That's the real thing, though.
How did they get footage of this? But a helicopter?
Maybe that is a reenactment.
Dude, this guy must be fucked for life. I swear to
yeah.
God. I swear. Huh.
See, that's the guy with the glasses. That's the guy that played the captain that lost his job, that crashed.
He's not really the dude.
No, he's the actor that plays him.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes, though, I always wonder. I'm like, you see these, you even see like commercials, and like the kids all look familiar, and you're like, you could be related to those parents. Was this just like really good casting?
Dude, I watched the new season of Unsolved Mysteries. It was boring as fuck.
You didn't like it?
Nah, it was boring as fuck.
There was a couple of good ones on. They just came out with a bunch of new episodes. I love that show.
No, the new episodes. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like the new episodes.
Yeah, those ones
are weak
weren't
sauce.
good. No, they were really bad.
But yeah,
they were really, that one about like the although the one about the Japanese people was actually, I thought, really interesting. I didn't know about that.
That was
the tsunami.
Dude, that thing was devastating.
That was,
dude.
Yeah. And that they had real video footage of. That video was scary.
Like, it's weird to look at it because it doesn't look real, and it's so zoomed out that it's like when you really look closely, it's an entire city getting wiped out.
And when you think about a tsunami, you think about like one giant wave. Like, it was just, the water was creeping in so fast.
Yeah.
So it's very deceiving.
Yeah. And rushing through it, and like these are cars, right? Like, it's just insane to think about. They're getting tossed around like paper and toys, and like it looks really weak.
Look at them.
But like when you look closely at the cars, it's just.
But if you're a person in that water, like, you're just being thrown around. You could be hitting a car. It's nuts.
Yeah. It is insane.
I mean, you think about it. I don't know. I think it made me realize there's so much bad things that happen all over the world. And while, there was news coverage of it here, it wasn't, it didn't affect our daily lives, I guess. And so it's not that it wasn't a big deal, but you kind of don't realize it. This was devastating to thousands. Like, that show really made me realize people
Look at all these cars.
People lost
Christ.
people.
Yeah. So you look at the beginning of this video and you see all these cars, right? And they're
it's crazy.
They're like, hold on one sec. Look at this little car just traveling by this other little car. They need to get the fuck out. If I was driving in that car, I'd be going way, way, way quicker than what they were going at. Because what happens next is this fucking thing just goes over the well. It overflows. Look, that was the road that people were traveling on. Unbelievable.
It's so crazy how quick it happened.
Well, it was seemingly
Look at
slow.
the boats. Look at the boats. Like, they're...
all these cars
nuts.
just getting wiped out. This is insane.
I mean, water is so powerful. The ocean, really scares me a lot.
Oh, man. Just like toys.
But it just, there might be people in there. It's scary. I don't know. It's just, you don't really think about that so much. I think they did a nice job with that episode, actually.
I like that. Was the thing that I would agree that I think that was my favorite too. But they just didn't know how big it was going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, it said in the episode too, they're used to, they've had tsunami warnings before, and they expected a tsunami. Crazy though.
Oh, look at the boat. It's so weird because that's such a large thing, but the camera's so
moving
zoomed out.
so fast. Yeah. Look at the boat. Oh my god. Crazy. Just crazy.
I mean, this is only one side. There was a really good shot on the show, right? When you literally saw the entire, from a helicopter, just everything getting swooped by this black liquid.
Where it was you could see it where it was creeping itself into the farmland.
Yeah.
And it had all the junk and debris, and it just looked like, when waves wash up on shore, it had that kind of look to it, that it really wasn't that much water,
Yeah.
Crazy. So, I mean, there's powerful stuff happening, all over the world.
Yeah.
And the fact that, I think I look at it, I try and be optimistic about it. While it is a bad thing, people overcome it. And so it might take a long time, but I think there's a comforting fact in, no matter how bad it gets, you can overcome it. You can. It will take a lot of hard work and sacrifice and tragedy, but you can rebuild.
Yeah, they're rebuilding, right?
Yeah.
So what happened?
What is this one?
I guess
is that Japan too?
They're just comparing different tsunamis. I guess this was 75 feet.
Whoa.
This was 131 feet.
But see, that's what you feel like. It doesn't come in though as one giant.
This is
maybe that is actually coming in as a giant wave.
Yeah. That's insane.
Wow, that is just tearing everything apart. Wow.
8 feet.
All right, man. I don't mean to cut our tsunami show short.
Whoa.
But I think I'm gonna have to head.
Yeah, I have to
bed.
I have to go too. I'm I what time is it even?
I'm glad we did this. Go 50.
Yes, thank you so much for joining me on episode 50.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, no, congratulations to you. I mean, you've been around for a while now. Shit.
Yeah.
We should really start thinking about maybe a greater strategy in general. I think it's about time to reset to the VAM Show 2.0. We gotta get Yard Sale pointed out that there's a dude who also had a VAM show, and he now shows up on the searches in place of this show. So I would think it would be really
get him
funny
on the show.
to get him on the show. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
We should we could think about that and ring in the new year with a new 2.0 version.
Yeah. All right.
Well, listen, happy belated again.
Thank you.
Enjoy your guitar.
Yeah.
And have a good week. Don't forget to vote.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I can, but.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
put the voting vibes out there.
All right.
All right,
Peace
man.
out.
Have a good night.
Yeah.